Hi everyone, my name is Camelia and I'm a fourth year chemistry major at Ohio State. I knew that I was going to major in chemistry ever since I took Mr. Green's honors chemistry class my sophomore year of high school, and specifically, I really enjoyed the labs that we did in Mr. Green's class, and ever since I took that class, I've known that I was going to study chemistry in college. I am set to graduate in May, which is really exciting. And then after I graduate, I plan to go to graduate school this fall for biostatistics. And after I get my higher degree, I'm going to begin working in the biotechnology field. Biotechnology is kind of a newer career field that has emerged more recently. And biotechnology, a couple of things that you can do in this field. The first thing is develop new products. So biotechnologists can use living organisms to develop new products and technologies, but then going more into the healthcare side of it, biotechnologists can improve healthcare by developing new drugs and treatments and things such as vaccines to improve health and reduce side effects. With a chemistry major, there's a lot of different career paths that you can go down. You don't have to necessarily just be a chemist. You can work in a lot of different fields. So to start off, you can work in academia, and this means that you can work at a college and you can teach at a college level and then also do research on the side. Next, you can work in the pharmaceutical industry. You can work as a pharmacist or a chemist or a drug developer to develop and design new pharmaceutical compounds. Next, you can work in biotechnology, which is what I want to do. You can work to discover and develop new drugs and vaccines, and also design molecules that can target specific diseases at the molecular level. Next, you can work as a cosmetic chemist at big cosmetic brands, and you can help develop and test new skincare, hair care, makeup, and fragrance products. Next, you can go more into the healthcare field, which is what a lot of people do. You can become a doctor, dentist, or something like a physician's assistant. Foundation in chemistry helps prepare you for more of like the scientific side of going into healthcare. And finally, you can go into work for the government. You can work for agencies such as the EPA, the FDA, or the Department of Energy. Going more so into the roles of chemistry in healthcare specifically, you can go into drug development, pharmacology, and toxicology, which is where you can work with drug interactions. You can test safe dosages and also potential side effects. You can go into biotechnology, which again is what I'm doing. You can go into medical devices and design implants and prosthetics. You can go into nutrition and metabolism, vaccine development, and environmental health. So there's a lot of things that you can do with a chemistry major. And along with the scientific knowledge that you gain from a chemistry major, you also gain a lot of problem-solving abilities and critical thinking skills. So overall, a degree in chemistry is just really helpful overall. So I've taken a lot of chemistry classes at Ohio State, and I've taken 2 semesters of general chemistry, 2 semesters of organic chemistry, 2 of physical chemistry, 2 of analytical chemistry, 2 of biochemistry, and then I've taken physics, calculus, and statistics. How Ohio State works and how a lot of other colleges also work is they separate these science classes into lectures and also labs. So those were the lectures that I've taken. And as for labs, I've taken 2 semesters of general chemistry lab, 2 semesters of organic chemistry lab, 1 semester of physical chemistry lab, and 1 semester of analytical chemistry lab. Classes that I've taken in high school that helped me were honors in AP chemistry, of course, AP biology. This helped a lot with my biochemistry classes, AP calculus, because I did have to take 3 semesters of calculus, so I went all the way up to Calc 3. And then I do work at the gym as a personal trainer, so IB sports, exercise, and health sciences with Ms. Hopkins was very, very helpful for me. The most challenging part of being a chemistry major is honestly just having exam taking strategies. In college, you take exams that are about an hour and a half to 2 hours long, and just learning how to study efficiently for exams and learning how to be a good test taker, learning what kind of questions they may ask. These were all things that I had to learn when I got to college. And then as for the hardest class I had to take at Ohio State, for me it was organic chemistry. A lot of my friends who are also chemistry majors think that physical chemistry was the hardest class, but I thought that physical chemistry was really cool, and because of that I didn't mind putting in a lot of work, so it came a little bit easier to me. But for me, organic chemistry was definitely the most difficult part of college. At Ohio State, I did do research for 2 years. I started fall of my freshman year, so I started really as soon as I got to college, and I stepped away from research spring of my sophomore year, so that's about 1.5 years, I believe. And specifically, I worked in the Comprehensive Cancer Center under Dr. Maria Mihailova, and her research is focused in the intestines, and she studies how our body's metabolism can affect diseases, specifically cancer. So she was looking at how the intestines use nutrients and how this process changes as we age, and also certain diets and certain fasting techniques. And the overall goal of her research was to create therapeutics that can help with cancer. In her research, I learned a lot of cool biological techniques, such as PCR, genotyping, Western blotting, immunohistochemistry, and also cell culture techniques, just to name a few. I've also done a lot of work with protein and RNA, and that was also really cool. I also know how to do a lot of lab calculations and just maintaining a clean lab space, and I now possess a lot of problem solving abilities and troubleshooting abilities that I didn't necessarily have before I started working in research. So if anyone goes on to major in anything anything science related, then I would highly recommend going into research as an undergraduate. I think it's really helpful. As for job opportunities, I had an internship with Mettler Toledo for 2 summers, and Mettler Toledo works to make lab equipment. So they make things such as balances, scales, going more into the advanced chemistry instruments. They make spectrophotometers, density meters, things like that. And as an intern, I had the responsibility of conducting product testing, collecting and analyzing data, going through documentation of reports and manuals, and also just helping to maintain a clean lab space overall. next, going on into companies that hire chemistry majors. Like I said, you can go into cosmetic and personal care, so you can work for companies such as L'Oreal, Procter & Gamble, and Estee Lauder. You can work for pharmaceuticals such as Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, Merck, Moderna, things like that. You can go into biotechnology. You can work at places such as Amgen, Thermo Fisher, and genetic. Next, you can go into government and specifically environmental agencies. A big one is the EPA. Next, you can go into food and beverage. You can work for Nestle, Coca-Cola, and General Mills, just to name a few. And lastly, you can work at a hospital. And those are, again, those careers in healthcare, such as doctors, PAs, dentists, things like that. Common misconceptions about chemistry, or like just studying chemistry in general, are that all chemists work in labs and do the same things, which is kind of the point that I've been trying to get at this whole presentation. A degree in chemistry is super versatile, and you can do a lot of things with it. So you can work in a variety of settings, which can include labs, but also can include industry, academic institutions, and healthcare. Another misconception is that if you struggle with a concept, you're not cut out for chemistry. And also similarly, if you think that chemistry is too hard to succeed in, those two are huge misconceptions. As long as you develop study habits and dedication and persistence, you can succeed. And it's very rewarding as well. And it's honestly really interesting too. So if you're a little bit intimidated to go into these science fields, I would tell you to go for it and just develop good habits, form relationships with your professors, and you will succeed. And that concludes my presentation. I hope that provided some information about what it's like to be a chemistry major, what you can do with a chemistry major, and just help to clear up some misconceptions and questions that you may have. So again, thank you so much. And if you have any questions, I'm sure Casser will be able to answer them for you.